Welcome to the presentation about the Farmers Insurance Agent California Class Action Settlement. My name is Charles Krieger, and I am one of the attorneys representing the class in this case. This presentation provides an overview of the settlement and your options. The court granted preliminary approval on March 8th. You should receive a court-approved notice that explains your rights and benefits. Please read the notice. It sets out your rights. This presentation is for informational purposes only and does not replace the notice or the claim forms.
Also, we will be hosting webinars to explain the settlement and answer questions on the following dates: April 6th, April 26th, May 10th, and May 24th. All the webinars will be at 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit the settlement website for the link to the webinars at www.californiainsuranceagentssettlement.com. Please read the notice as it explains your rights and options. If you have not received the notice, you can obtain a copy from the settlement website. You can also contact the settlement administrator at the email and phone number below. The settlement resolves a class action, Perry et al. Versus Farmers Insurance Exchange et al., filed in a California state court in Los Angeles. The lawsuit claims that under California law, the farmers' agents are or were employees of the three exchanges and Farmers Group, Inc., the defendants, and that California law required the defendants to reimburse the California farmers' agents for certain necessary business expenses that they paid. Defendants deny these claims. The court has not decided whether defendants violated any law. Instead, plaintiffs and the defendants have agreed to a settlement to avoid the risks and costs of further litigation. The settlement provides $75 million to settlement class members in two buckets of funds and other benefits. There's a $40 million direct payment bucket where settlement class members will automatically receive a pro rata share of $40 million as a direct payment without the need to make any claim. A $35 million claims payments bucket. So in addition to the direct payments, settlement class members may also be eligible for a claim payment of up to $10,000 to reimburse them for certain Smart Office related expenses incurred during the class period. And systemic and contract changes. The settlement also provides that defendants will make certain systemic changes and amend the settlement class members' contracts. We will explain each of these benefits in more detail in this presentation. Also, please read the notice as it provides a more detailed explanation of the benefits and your rights.
What are your rights and options under the settlement? You can do nothing and receive a direct payment. If you do nothing, a payment will be sent to you for your direct payment. You will also receive the benefits of certain systemic and contract changes. You will give up your rights to sue the defendants about the legal claims in this case. You can also submit a claim for an additional claims payment of up to $10,000. In addition to a direct payment, you may submit a timely and valid claim form to receive a claims payment of up to $10,000 for certain Smart Office related expenses. Object. You may also send a written statement to the settlement administrator to tell the court why you do not like any aspect of the settlement. Alternatively, you or your attorney may object at the final approval hearing conducted by the court. If you object, you are still a part of the settlement. Exclude yourself. Remove yourself from the class by opting out. You will receive no payments or other benefits from the settlement. You will keep your right to sue the defendants about the legal claims in this case.
Who is a settlement class member? The settlement includes all individuals who signed a farmer's agent appointment agreement or a farmer's corporate agent appointment agreement and worked as a farmer's agent or supervising agent for an incorporated farmer's agency in the state of California at any time between November 16, 2013 and March 8, 2022. It does not matter if you signed your agreement before November 2013. If you signed your agreement before November 13 and were still a farmer's agent in California at any time between November 16, 2013 and March 8, 2022, you are a settlement class member. Even if you or Farmers terminated your agreement at any time between November 16, 2013 and March 8, 2022, you are a settlement class member. Importantly, your decision to participate in the settlement or submit a claim will be confidential. Farmers cannot retaliate against you for any actions you take with respect to the settlement. Your decision to stay in the class or to submit a claim will not be disclosed to your district managers, area sales managers, or any members of territory leadership or executive leadership. No party may discourage you from making claims. That includes your district managers, area sales managers, or members of territory leadership and executive leadership. And Farmers district managers, area sales managers, and members of territory leadership and executive leadership shall not discuss the settlement agreement with you. If you believe Farmers has violated any of these rules, please immediately notify us at classaction@kriegerdickinson.com. We will now discuss some of the benefits of the settlement, starting with the direct payments. Settlement class members will automatically receive a pro rata share of $40 million as a direct payment. You do not have to make a claim to receive a direct payment. The pro rata share is based on the settlement class member's length of time as an agent during the settlement class period. The court will deduct, in amounts that the court approves, our attorney's fees, expenses, service awards to the class representatives, and notice and certain settlement administration expenses from the direct payments. You cannot receive a direct payment if you timely request exclusion, that is, opt out from the settlement. But again, you do not have to make a claim to receive a direct payment. Based on Farmers' records and the parties' current assumptions, it is estimated that direct payments to settlement class members with 2 years of service during the settlement class period will be $1,548. With 4 years of service will be $3,039. With 6 years of service will be $4,640. And with 8 years of service will be $6,189. The actual amounts likely will be different and will depend on a number of factors. Please read the notice for a more detailed explanation. Claims payments. In addition to the direct payment, you can also make a claim for up to $10,000 if you submit a timely and valid claim form. The deadline to submit a claim form is no later than July 7th, 2022. Please see the notice in the claim form provided with the notice and also available at the Settlement Administrator's website for more information. How the claim process works. First, you submit a claim form plus the documentation of SmartOffice expenses as necessary. The Settlement Administrator approves the claim or lets you know why it is defective. If the Settlement Administrator tells you that your claim is defective, you can correct any defect by the deadline that the Settlement Administrator tells you to do so. That deadline will be the later of either of two dates, either 30 calendar days plus 3 days if the notice is provided by mail, or the claims deadline of July 7th, 2022. If you do not correct the deficiency, your claim will be denied. If you have questions about the deadline or why your claim is defective, please contact the Settlement Administrator or Class Counsel. There are 5 categories of SmartOffice related expenses that can be claimed. The first is licensed and appointed staff necessary to have the agency open 45 hours a week. You must identify the staff person by name. You may claim expenses paid for one full-time licensed and appointed staff during the claims period, or one or more part-time licensed and appointed staff who are the equivalent of one full-time licensed and appointed staff. Eligible expenses include the wages or salary paid, plus the cost of licensing and appointment, including licensing with the Department of Insurance, online training for licensing exams, and background check fee, as some examples. However, if you were appointed as a farmer's agent through any of the following 3 programs that required a licensed and appointed staff to be appointed: external acquisition after 1/1/2019, seed or retail, then you cannot make a claim for expenses paid for licensed and appointed staff. please see the claim form provided with the notice and also on the Settlement Administrator's website for more information.
The other 4 categories of Smart Office expenses that can be claimed are exterior signage, interior signage and branding, digital, so website photo and website customization, and office appearance. Again, please see the claim form and the notice for further information.
The total amount of expenses you submit for your claim may exceed $10,000, but the maximum claims payment you can receive is $10,000. Why would you submit a claim for more than $10,000 in expenses? To ensure that you receive the maximum amount even if the settlement administrator disallows one or more claimed expense for some reason. Again, please see the claim form for more information. What type of documents do you have to submit to document your expenses? Payroll records, for example, a W-2 form, profit and loss statements or other accounting records you maintained in the ordinary course of business, receipts, itemized expenses from tax returns, or folio records showing deductions if you have access or if a former agent have copies. Or for all expenses except for license appointed staff, you may check a box declaring that you paid the claimed amount through folio. How do you submit your claim form and documentation to the settlement administrator? You can upload it to the settlement administrator's website, which is the preferred and easiest method. You can email it to the settlement administrator. You can fax it to the settlement administrator, and you can also mail it to the settlement administrator. Again, please read the notice for more information. Farmers only pays all the $35 million portion of the settlement if enough settlement class members make claims. So claims are very important to maximize the settlement. In addition to direct payments and the ability to submit a claim for up to $10,000 in Smart Office related expenses, the settlement agreement will make certain amendments to the agent contracts. Those contract amendments will eliminate the no-cause termination provision on 3 months' notice, eliminate the non-solicitation provision, add a provision that the agent supervising agent may resign his or her appointment at any time with 60 days written notice to the companies or at an earlier date by mutual agreement of the parties. The contract amendments will also add a provision allowing termination by the companies on 6 months written notice under certain conditions, and add a mutual arbitration provision with a jury and class action waiver for certain claims. An expert estimates that these amendments will provide $15 million of value to settlement class members. Again, please read Section 7 of the notice for more information about the contract changes. The systemic changes will eliminate any policy that uses agency growth model for determining eligibility for bonuses or achievement clubs, will eliminate the customer service standards section from the agency operations manual, and will also establish written complaint procedure for agents to raise concerns and complaints related to their independent contractor status and allow the agent to remain anonymous from his or her district manager and or farmer's territory leadership. Again, please read Section 7 of the notice for more information. There are important deadlines that you should also be aware of. The exclusion deadline, which is May 30th, 2022. The deadline to submit claims, which is July 7th, 2022. The written objection deadline, which is October 11th, 2022. And the date for the final approval hearing in front of the court, which is November 10th, 2022. Only after the court approves the settlement and it becomes final will payments be sent out and other benefits take effect. Again, please read the notice for a more detailed explanation of your rights and options. And once again, we will be hosting live webinars to explain the settlement and answer questions you may have on the following dates: April 6th, April 26th, May 10th, and May 24th, 2022, Again, all the webinars will be at 1 p.m. Pacific time. You can visit the settlement website for the link to the webinars. You can also contact us about how to attend, and you can also go to our website at www.farmersinsurancelawsuit.com, and our website has a link to the settlement website and also information about how to attend the upcoming webinars. And finally, here is some key contact information: the settlement administrator's website, how to email, phone, or mail the settlement administrator, as well as how to get in contact with us by either email, phone, or fax. Again, please read the notice for a more detailed explanation.
A few closing points. First, spread the word. All current and former California agents need to know. Second, if you make a claim, do so early and before the claims deadline to utilize the settlement. And third, if you are unsure whether you are a settlement class member or have any questions about the settlement, visit the settlement website, call the settlement administrator, or contact class counsel. We are here to help. Thank you.